Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network. Yo! Oh my God!
Yo. It's Joe MMA Rap with Luis J. Gomez and Dave Smith.
Yo, what up, baby boys? It's your boy, Luis J. Gomez, Puerto Rican Rattlesnake, Point Guard Podcast, and King of Things, coming at you like Cleopatra, your mama's butt cheeks. As always, with the great Dave Smith, the one and only Dave Smith.
There's several of us, but I'm
You
the
know
best.
what now, dude?
I'm the best.
Imagine
Luis, you are an hour late, an hour and 5 minutes late.
a dollar short.
It is unacceptable. However, it cannot keep me down today because Nate Diaz defeats Khamzat Chimaev.
He did.
And then just to top it off, beats Tony Ferguson as well. I'm in a great mood. My favorite episode we've done so far already.
Listen, it's going to be a great episode. Shout out to Yo Kratom for supporting today's show. Without them, none of this would
Nate
be
Diaz
possible.
was on Kratom as he won both of his
Home
fights.
of the $60
this weekend.
kilo. Support Yo Kratom and everything they do because they support us and everything that we do. This past weekend, UFC 279, Nate Diaz versus not Khamzat, Tony Ferguson.
He fought them both.
Doggy, the way it all played out, it was wild and
One
crazy.
of the craziest events in UFC history.
I'm putting my conspiracy theory hat on right now, my little tinfoil hat, my little tinfoil goggles. I feel like there's some shadiness going on behind the scenes there. There was just the way it all played out. It just seems like whatever happened, it's sort of like the shift. I feel like there's something we don't know. That's what I'll say. It's like 9/11. There's some shit we don't know.
Yeah, well,
I don't think it's an inside job.
It's not what those people are saying.
It's not the steel
what's
doesn't
kinda
melt
weird?
and they.
So
blow
I
it.
heard
That's
a
not what it
lot
is.
of.
But there was some that we don't know about that happened in 9/11. Just like at UFC 279, there's some shit behind the doors that we don't know about that would probably blow people's minds.
Well, I'll tell you, I saw a lot of people tweeting. I think Ben Askren said something about this, and I saw several other fighters who were like, because the story is that the night before weigh-ins, the doctor came and told Khamzat he had to stop.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
He said that's it. And they kept calling him after each monkey fell off the bed and bumped his head. And the doctor was like, "What? At this point, why are you calling me?
You know the answer. You know the answer, dude.
I've told you 7 times already.
No more
and
monkeys
I'll tell you 3
jumping
more
on the
times.
bed.
And a lot of these fighters were like, but this doesn't make sense because doctors don't check your progress weight cutting. Someone would have had to call a doctor in. Something's going on here. And there seemed to be no signs from Khamzat Chimaev on the day of weigh-in that he was in any distress. Like, he didn't look sucked out. He didn't look like somebody... Now, this doesn't prove that he wasn't, but he didn't look like somebody whose kidney was failing the day before or who was, like, cramping up and couldn't cut weight. He looked happy and replenished.
He looked as healthy as you could look on that scale. Pull up Khamzat on the weigh-in, right? And it's not only that. So here's the thing. Khamzat went from being maybe one of the most beloved fighters to the absolute most hated fighter in a matter of days. In a matter of days, dude. And honestly, had one of the most impressive performances that I've ever seen in the UFC with defeating Kevin Holland without Holland being able to deliver a single strike.
Yes.
Nothing. Incredibly impressive performance. But Khamzat, the reason people are hating on this guy is because now he comes in, he doesn't look sickly, he doesn't look like he tried his ass off to cut weight. He's smiling, he's smirking. First of all, he looks great, dude. Then he flips off some fans or whatever. He misses weight by 8 pounds, right? And fighters miss weight. And I know other fighters get really pissed. I remember Bisping used to be very critical when people would miss weight because he never missed weight once in his career. And it's just like, yeah, you, dude. That's the job. You got one job to do. And I understand that. But the MMA audience and the fan base, we don't really give a shit if you miss weight if you react the right way.
I suppose. I think that there's examples like, let's say when Charles Oliveira missed weight, but you miss it by like a fraction. And people kind of go, oh, really? He gets stripped of his title because he's like 0.4 pounds over what he's supposed to be. A different scale might have told you he was on weight. You know, like it's a different thing to miss weight by 8.5 pounds.
Crazy.
And when you have a 1 pound forgiveness, so like 9.5 pounds, you know, off the look, it is. I understand what Bisping is saying, and I remember Anderson Silva, when Travis Lutter missed weight against him, was like furious and ripping him apart. Like, you disrespected
title shot
me.
is crazy.
You disrespected
It's crazy
the title.
to miss weight on a title shot. It's bonkers.
But you kind of get the point where it's like, well, look, here's what we agreed to. We agree that we will fight at this place, at this time, at this weight. So they look at it almost like not showing up to the arena.
Yeah.
Like, this is where we agreed to fight. Well, this is the weight we agreed to fight.
And it's also,
at.
especially at that time, maybe not now as much in modern day MMA, but back then, these guys were all fighting 20 pounds above their weight class, right? And they would really cut weight. They would really deplete themselves in massive ways, in dangerous ways, right? I think nutrition's gotten better, training's gotten better. A lot of guys have realized fighting at their natural weight class is way better for them. They have a better chin, they're stronger, they're faster. There's the whole weight cutting thing. I feel like a lot less fighters are doing crazy, dangerous weight cuts anymore. But I think back then specifically, guys like Bisping were like, no, they have to starve themselves. They're really pissed off. They got a fucking chip on their shoulder the week of the fight because they're like, dude, they can't eat what they want. They've been torturing themselves, dude. If you like to eat, like, I like to fucking eat. For me,
we know.
For me not to eat and for me not to like be able to enjoy that side of life, which in my opinion is one of the biggest pleasures in life, dude. It's like literally traveling and visiting new places, eating good food, and fucking. That's like I really should have been a Greek god.
And you just travel.
just taking grapes and fucking shoving them into my mouth as I'm all fat and naked, just in orgies. What a great life that would be. That's all I would want.
Hey, enough grapes. We got anything fried?
You can't fry these grapes.
These grapes are good, but they're kind of healthy.
Coop, can you come here so I can peg you in the head with this cup of coffee right now?
Coop, please come here so I can throw scalding hot coffee
no,
in your
it's
face.
not scalding hot. So luckily it's just going to be a nice ice cold, I shouldn't say ice cold because that would even be a thing that's good. Iced coffee is nice. A lukewarm cup of coffee.
Room temperature coffee.
I'm going to call it Coop warm. It's a Coop warm cup of coffee right now because that's what you're giving me is Coop warm feelings. Not good, Coop. That's not good.
That's not a good thing?
That's not a good thing.
That's not middle of the road, at least?
No one appreciates that.
At least microwave it for me, Coop. Jesus fucking
I'll throw
Christ.
some more coffee, but I should also let you guys know, I don't know if you saw this, Khamzat's coach came out and he said the reason that they consulted the doctors is because when he would stand up, he would start to like pass out. He was nauseous, so he was in a bad spot.
So if that's the case, then it's still a big fuck up on his part. So I'm curious your thoughts on this, Lewis. By
the way, this all overshadowed the backstage brawl that happened the day before the weigh-ins.
Right? So there's a huge audience there for the press conference, and Khamzat gets in a fight backstage, and then that ruins the press conference. So people are kind of annoyed about that. Then doesn't even make weight. So he's talking all this shit about what he's going to do to Nate Diaz. And I'll tell you, from my perspective, I go, look, Nate Diaz, right, is in a situation where, I mean, sure, he wanted out of his contract, but the truth is, what we'll all acknowledge is that they handed him the nightmare matchup for him. The toughest, I mean, the odds were like, it was insane what the odds were favoring Khamzat, which I think were a little too insane, but regardless. And Nate's like, I'll be there.
I would have given him like minus 600 favorite.
Yeah,
I would have placed something like that.
But it was like 1100 or something like that. It was something crazy. But Nate fucking takes it and like shows up to fucking fight this guy. The toughest matchup for him at a weight
which is because Nate's a true gangster and a psychopath.
Yes.
Nate didn't go into this going like, oh, I'm going to lose this fight. Nate went into it like, I'm going to destroy this pussy.
Nate goes, I wanted Francis Ngannou and they only gave me Khamzat, so like whatever. I guess I got an easy night at the office. But the fact that then he goes there and then you don't there's something about that that's like, and then you don't do what you need to do to fight him.
Yeah.
Like, he was willing to take this fucking fight, and I kind of feel like, in this weird way, Nate's taking this crazy against the odds fight, and you kind of rob him of his chance.
Yeah.
Whatever you think the
rob
chance may be.
Look, for
to
a lot
go
of
out.
people came out, including Jamie Kilstein, who filled in for me on this show just a couple weeks ago. And I love Jamie. A lot of people were like, dude, better matchup. I'm more excited about this. It wasn't more exciting. Yes, it was it's a better matchup. They should have just made this match from the beginning.
Yeah, I guess it makes more sense.
Way better. It's a more fun fight. Look, to watch Nate likely get smoked by Khamzat. If Khamzat was able to do that to Kevin Holland, and Nate's a more skilled fighter than Kevin Holland, but Holland is a really athletic dude. He's got great grappling. He wasn't able to get anything off. I think Khamzat would have ragdolled Nate, and I don't want to watch Nate go out getting ragdolled against a guy who, honestly, we all just found out sucks. Fuck him.
Well, I'll tell you this. So I kind of agree. I kind of disagree. What I thought from the Khamzat versus Kevin Holland fight was it made me go, man, it would have been really interesting to see him try to do that to Nate Diaz. Because I'll tell you, I do think that, look, even the commentators were going, when he was fighting in the first minute of the Kevin Holland fight, they were going, wow, look, that style of coming out like that is a very dangerous game to play if you don't finish the guy immediately. And this just makes it a very interesting thing where you go, look, if there's one thing you could say about fucking Nate Diaz that you really can't deny, he is one of the absolute toughest guys to finish in MMA. I mean, this is the guy who's fought like nothing but top 10 and top 5 guys and almost never gets finished. The one exception was the Josh Thompson fight. Yeah. But aside from that, no matter who he fights, and even when guys fucking like really, I mean, Jorge Masvidal, fucking was really like getting everything off. Nate took a face kick, took all types of shots. Still, I mean, they stopped it because of the cut, but still it looked like he wasn't going to finish him in that fight. Does Khamzat catch Nate in that choke? I think probably not. And then if he can't finish him after starting like that, things do get interesting as they go further in the fight.
I don't
so
see
it just would have been
Khamzat, that style. Those guys have that, the Khabib, that Russians, just it's not even ground and pound. It's almost like fence and smash,
aggressive wrestling.
They push you up against the fence and then they just smash.
I think,
and I think it would have been a really tough pace for Nate to deal with. And he just stays so tight to you. He's got impeccable grappling. I just don't see him being finished there. This is the.
I think it would have gotten real interesting if Nate could have made it into the final rounds of the fight, and I think he probably would have.
I mean, also you got to say Kevin Holland did fucking go to give him a pound. And then he shot for it. I mean, look, it's within the rules.
Look, Kevin Holland also was had a training camp for a striker, and to switch from a striker to this grappler of all grapplers in one day is
Kevin
very
Holland
tough.
He doesn't lose his stock. He does, though, and it's a 170-pounder that's coming in.
He was trying to put on a winning streak, you know what I mean? And
you also like the way he got smashed. Look, you're a professional mixed martial artist. You're the top of the food chain. Everyone in there that gets in that cage, main card of a UFC event, everyone has title aspirations. We're talking about being best in the world. And we have a performance like that against a guy who typically fights in a weight class lower than yours. I just don't think it does you any favors. You don't look very good.
Doesn't help, for sure.
Yeah, not great at all. Ultimately, he just doesn't lose stock because Khamzat put on such a shit show and was so disliked this week, and Kevin Holland was willing to sort of change opponents. Well, he's sort of frozen. His stock doesn't go down. His stock definitely doesn't go up. But in terms of sort of like where the fans, where the UFC, where everyone looks at him, I feel like Kevin Holland sort of is in the same position that he was in before this fight. Even after getting smashed, which is telling to how crazy the situation is.
I more or less agree with you, but I'm curious about your thoughts on this because I think that a lot of the reason why Khamzat became such a heel after this, as you mentioned earlier, was not just that he missed the weight, but his attitude after he missed the weight. What do you think about that? Because I'm almost a little bit torn on that, where I think behind the scenes, if you talk to Dana White or if he were to talk to Nate Diaz or something like that, I think behind the scenes, his attitude probably should be like, hey, I'm sorry. I fucked up and I fucked this card up. That's bad. Won't happen again or something like that. But I do kind of understand where in front of the cameras when you get up there, you're like, well, what am I going to do at this point? Am I going to be a little bitch and be like, sorry, everybody, I missed weight? Or I'll be like, fuck you, suck a dick.
You know what?
Put anyone in front of me and I'll smash
I
them.
just sort of want you to be real. I appreciate the effort, right? He's trying to do what Conor does, right? He's trying to he's pulling a page out of Conor's book. He's got a ton of hype right now. He's trying to be the bad boy. He's missing the mark. You know, it's not even me. Forget me. Just look at the public reaction to it. When Conor throws a dolly and smashes a girl's head open with it and glass flies everywhere, you know, nobody really gave a shit. Everyone was like, dude, Conor just knows how to create moments. And this guy, you know, Khamzat, he's just not nailing the bad guy thing. Chael,
well, I don't know if he was trying for it. I don't know if that's what he was trying for. I think he's just kind of like, bro, I think what he's trying to keep up is the intimidation factor. Of like for all of his fucking opponents, that's like, I don't care. I'm coming to smash you guys. I don't give a fuck what I weighed, blah, blah, blah. But if you're Dana White, and weirdly Dana White, you know, this is how Dana is because he's a businessman first. You know he's furious. Yeah. The guy starts a fight backstage, ruins your press conference, and then the next day misses weight and makes you scramble. Dana White had to pay everybody more money to agree to take these fights. Or maybe
Dana White
does not like to pay everybody more money.
Dana White saw that this event wasn't tracking as well as it could have tracked, and that he needed some more fucking press. This is where the conspiracy theories come in, right?
Yeah,
so
I doubt
Khamzat, by him creating that melee at the press conference, by him changing opponents, the amount of interest that was drawn into this card, the amount of people clicking on it, talking about it, I mean, everything was just turned on its head, and it sort of became must-see TV, whereas I don't know, there might have been a lot of people, I have no idea. I thought there was a lot of hype with Nate Diaz's last fight going up against Khamzat, but maybe it just wasn't tracking that well because Nate was very, very much outmatched to the casual fan. I don't know, but they see that, you know, minus 1,300, you know, whatever the discrepancy was in the line, and they went, oh yeah, I'm not going to buy this fight. This doesn't seem like it's a super competitive fight. So all of a sudden, they do a rearrangement of everything, get a ton of press. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's fucking talking UFC 279, and Nate Diaz goes out and has one of the most incredible performances ever. First of all, the fight.
How did Building 7 fall the same way the two towers fell? You tell me that. Did you hear the tape of that Jew saying, pull it?
Doggy, I'm just saying that all of a sudden it became a really, really, really hyped card. And Khamzat,
okay, I get what you're saying.
Khamzat not having not a drop of sweat on him, not looking sucked at all, and him smiling. And honestly, Dana White recording like a Fuck It Friday and flipping an egg. Like Dana didn't seem to care that much. When Dana's pissed.
Yeah.
Dana will come out and be like, fuck you, Khamzat. You're a piece of shit. He will go up head to head.
He goes, oh, well, what happened is the doctor came in and he couldn't do it. So anyway, we're switching the whole card around. It was, all right, fair enough.
Doggy, he straight up was like, oh yeah, the doctor. It was crazy the way it just sort of like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, and then on top of it, Nate getting the fucking tap out at 209.
Well, all right, let's talk about it.
That's crazy.
Well, you think that was a conspiracy?
No, but that's crazy.
You think that didn't just happen?
That just happened, but that's crazy.
Well, let's. And Diaz was just fucking really starting to open up on him.
It's Look,
dude,
11,
it's so beautiful
10,
the way he does this choke.
9, right there. Taps goes in. They called it at 08, but he stopped him at 209. That's crazy, dude. Natalie has no idea the significance of this at all. Natalie, what do you think the significance is? I want to hear a lesbian's idea of what this could be.
I have no idea.
You have no idea. 209, what that is.
Seconds?
It's 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the very fourth round.
Did they bring him out earlier than he was supposed to?
No. Nate Diaz is from Stockton, California. Stockton, California's zip code is 209.
It's the area code.
But it's not only it's not only just they rep it in such a massive
like
way.
209 is like what they say all the time.
Yeah, it's like their t-shirts say 209. Like the fact that he got the tap out on his last fight, on his UFC contract I'm getting goosebumps right now. You can't write it. There's no way that it's there's no conspiracy there.
The X-Files music is playing.
It's crazy. You know what, guys? We can do that. We have the ability, folks.
Do we?
Why don't we?
It'll take us 10 minutes, but we can make it happen.
That is an absolutely wild thing.
What did you think about the fight?
Wait, real quick, say all that again.
At 2 minutes and 9 seconds, Nate Diaz gets the tap out. It's where he's from, Stockton, California. They represented it at all times. You're going to tell me that there's not something eerie and strange about this? Detective David?
Khamzat didn't make weight. He was told not to.
Are you doing Paul Bear?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really remember X-Files, but I feel like there'd always be some creepy dude like explaining everything
I
that
don't
happened.
think that's true at all. It was
I'm
about
pretty sure
it's the
it did.
sexual tension between Mulder and Scully. That was really
I
the
think it
whole
was
show.
about aliens.
Skankfest is sold out. But our marquee sponsor, YoKratom.com, has your chance to win tickets. So go to YoKratom.com for more information on how to win tickets to Skankfest.
All right, so what are your thoughts on the main event, like how the fight played out? It was kind of interesting to see Tony Ferguson, Nate Diaz. I know Tony Ferguson is on now, a 5-fight losing streak, but he was a guy who was like, just an incredible guy.
Yeah,
one of
injuries
the top
caught up.
guys.
All the damage caught up. He fought such a crazy style. Like, he's obviously, it's not the same Tony Ferguson that we saw, be the number one contender for a long time. The pandemic fucked things up a lot.
Yeah.
Tony, you almost feel bad for sort of the way it all played out for him because he was on the path to maybe being number one pound for pound, being champion.
His title fight got fucked up like 5 different times. He was supposed to get it and didn't get it.
Over crazy shit. The one time he just tripped over a power cord.
Yeah.
Remember? It was actually a really funny video. I don't know who put it out. But it was Tony, like, after they announced he was going to be in the main event, he, like, almost tripped over a wire, and one of the production assistants was like, whoa, they grabbed the wire, they're like, dude.
And that one got canceled, too. And that title fight, even when they were making jokes about how all your title fights get canceled, that one got canceled, too. I think that it was an interesting fight. It kind of went basically the way I thought it was going to go. Me and you talked on the phone, like, right after they rescheduled the whole fucking thing. And I go, basically what's going to happen is that Tony's like very unorthodox. He's going to be throwing this unorthodox shit at him. Nate is much more, even though he does crazy shit, his actual fighting technique is much more like technical. Yeah. And I go, he's going to start finding the openings and like start.
Yeah, I mean,
Nate's
just gonna just throw those 1-2s down the middle
and eventually start picking it apart. I thought, and even there, it was very weird. Tony Ferguson was doing. Like he's always been crazy with his elbows and his spinning like techniques, but he was going to it like way too much in the fight. His corner was screaming at him to stop doing the fucking spinning shit, and he kept doing it over and over. And you could see Nate started timing him well, and Nate started like landed some good shots and was busting him up a little bit. But he was doing really good with that inside leg kick, and he got this fucking, which was really interesting. And like now that you've been training for a while, I'm sure you appreciate this too. But he fucked up. A lot of times the leg kicks, they either fuck up like your thigh, you have a bruise on it, or your calf, and you have a bruise on it. But he got this big fucking welt on his shin, which is a weird thing because that's what you use to block kicks. The
blood you're talking about?
No. That was on Tony's leg.
Nate had a big welt on his shin.
Unrelated. Tony had a big cut on his shin, but then Nate had a lump on his fucking shin.
That cut was specifically from Nate checking a kick, dude.
Yeah.
Look, Dave, right now, if I simply threw a 5% speed kick at you and you checked it, both of us would go back to our corners and be like, that was really painful. That sucks, dude. Checking a kick, bone to bone checking sucks. And it's one of the things in the sport of mixed martial arts that it's like, you just do that. That's
just happening.
That's just happening. It hurts so much. It hurts with shin pads on.
But that's the interesting thing about, like, so Nate has this huge lump on his fucking shin, and now that's what he's checking these kicks with. Like, even when you check it right, you're checking it with your injured fucking shin. So he was doing a lot of damage, and then there was this really, I'll tell you.
Just two guys, two tough motherfuckers smashing each other's shins into each other. It's crazy,
But
dude.
there was something, and I see this a lot. I think this was true in the Leon Edwards fight, too. It's like with the Diaz brothers, there is almost this, like there is a method to their madness. And you saw there was like the one point in the fight where Nate Diaz just goes, no, and walks over to the cage. And it was like very weird. Like, wait, what's happening here? Is he like not fighting anymore? And then Tony lays down, and then and he's like, he turns it into these like antics where it's like, nah, fuck you. You're such a bitch. I'm just going to walk over here and not fight you. And then it gets back into the fight. And you know what happened when they got back in the fight? Tony, stop throwing that fucking leg kick.
Yeah.
Because now they just like, they're both like just pissed off. Like they just want to fucking fight each other. And he did this pretty effectively with Leon Edwards too, where he'd almost goat you into this like weird place of like talking shit and getting into all these antics. And all of a sudden you forget that you were really fucking him up when you were really keeping this as like a distanced fight and just like focusing on like these techniques. And they do this. This is kind of what Nick Diaz was doing with Anderson Silva when he'd lay down and walk to the cage and all this shit. He was like, just get into a wild scrap with me.
Yeah.
Like and then
Well, you can't like the other guy control the cage, dictate the pace of the fight. You're disrupting that rhythm and that control. That you're 100% right about that, you know. And I think I don't know how deliberate it is or how much like it's
but it happens,
like
it
a different gear like in them that sort of knows instinctually to do that, or if it's a conscious thing where they go, no, I got to disrupt this guy's pattern. I don't think the Diaz brothers are that deliberate.
I don't
in their
know,
thoughts.
but I've seen both of them. I've seen this with Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz. I remember Nick Diaz did this with in the Carlos Condit fight. There was one point where Carlos Condit landed this body kick, like a beautiful body kick. And you could just tell it really fucking hurt Nick Diaz. And he lands it, and Nick Diaz kind of like does this thing where he works right and he goes, ooh, oh yeah, you landed a body kick. Like he's always just like talking shit to him. And then Carlos kind of like steps back and is like, yeah, whatever. And then there's like almost like a 10-second thing where he's talking shit to him, and you're like, yeah, you just let him recover from this shot that hurt him. And like they do these things, which I don't know exactly how deliberate it is, but it's like genius fighting type shit. And then in the fourth round, when they came out, you could see Nate had really figured out his timing a lot, and he was really starting to like put it on him. And then his corner, Tony's corner, had been telling him like for the last 2 rounds in the breaks, take him down, because they wanted the points, because it was a close fight, so they wanted the points. And then as soon as he took him down, you realize this is the one thing Nate's probably been training his ass off. Yeah. When he's fighting Khamzat, what is his absolute best chance in that fight? Let's probably catch it. And Nate's got a really good guillotine, and it's probably catching him in that guillotine as he shoots in. And I mean, he just caught him right away. Beautifully.
Yeah. I mean, Tony was already hurt. There was a sequence where
he was putting it on him in that round. Yeah.
So yeah, that had something to do with it as well, because I don't think a lot of people saw Tony tapping either. I mean, look, it was an incredible performance by both guys. It was just a really fun fight. It was I ended up winning a 3-fight parlay. I bet on Nate Diaz, Khamzat, and Daniel Rodriguez. Even though Li Jingliang won that fight, in my opinion, and I was going to bet on Lee first, and then I talked to Harrington. I was like, "Is this a good parlay?" And he was like, "No, dude." Rodriguez started giving me all these stats about how Rodriguez finishes people and blah 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 blah. And I was like, "All right, dude, fine." And
Harrington always has the weirdest stats. He goes, every time he eats a 6-foot-long Subway before he fights, he finishes the fight.
Yeah, no. So I ended up betting on Daniel Rodriguez last minute, which was probably, it was against my instincts. But, Li Jingliang did an incredible job in the fight. Honestly, I thought he won the fight. I thought they kind of robbed him. But, I won, I think it was a $250 bet. I ended up winning over $1,000.
Woo! Luis, moving up in the world.
That's it, baby boy. That was a big deal because I lost $700 playing blackjack. So it's all good. All evens itself out, folks. Yeah, dude. Incredible, dude. Incredible performance by Nate Diaz. The 209 at the end was just icing on the cake. Very, very cool.
And it was a cool way for him to go out. Say whatever you will about Nate Diaz. I mean, to go out on this streak where he fucking beats Anthony Pettis, ties Jorge Masvidal, beats Leon Edwards, beats Khamzat Chimaev, and then beats Tony Ferguson, and then sails off into the sunset. This is an incredible end to his career. But even if you would argue with some of the facts of that statement, the guy has just been the most entertaining fucking fighter and always ready to fight. All the best guys. And I love when he does his poses, like his when he after he weighs in, dude. And it's just it's like a 13-year-old boy that just started lifting weights. He's like dude, that's him flexing, dude. He's like, yeah, he does this a lot. It's great. Oh, it's great.
You're like, what is he even doing? What does he see when he looks in the mirror?
Look, dude. Whatever you want to say, man. I love the Diaz brothers fight. To me, there's just no one ever who's been as entertaining to watch fight And they always fucking like, they're always there to have the fight you want to see. And they're always like, their belief, look, and even he said it in his one of his interviews before the fight. I think it was the ESPN interview before it, where he's just like saying, he's like, look, dude, I've been, this whole time I've been here. He goes, who am I fighting? It's like everyone I'm fighting is the top 5, the top 10, the best guys. His last fight before this fight was with the welterweight champion. You know, his fight before that was with the guy who's challenged twice for the title. His fight before that was with a former title holder. His fight, you know, and it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's cool what they were able to do. It was also really cool to me, at least, as like a hardcore fan and a big Diaz, you know, fan, that he had all of them there. Gilbert Melendez, Jake Shields, Nick Diaz was in his corner. They all came out with him. Richard Perez was there in his corner.
Shout out to Jake Shields, by the way, invited me to the Diaz after party.
Oh, did he? That's awesome. Yeah. Cesar Gracie was there with him, like the whole original team. And there was something cool about just like looking at it where like I remember, as we all remember, when there was a time where Gilbert Melendez was the Strikeforce champion, and Jake Shields was the Strikeforce champion, and Nick Diaz was the Strikeforce champion, and all those guys were a little bit ahead of Nate, you know, like in years in, and Nate was kind of like the next guy coming up, and it's just kind of cool to see Nate that he's become this star and making such huge money in the sport, and you know, for all we talk about where like there are some guys who gave so much to the sport and didn't make that much money off of it, it's just kind of cool that Nate ended up fucking just really beating the system.
No, yeah, he did, dude. You know,
and he made fucking. Did you hear?
Super exciting fighters.
Oh yeah, they all are. Did you hear in his post-fight press conference where he said, he goes, when they came to him and were like, we want you to fight Tony instead of Khamzat tomorrow. And he goes, well, if you want that, then I want you to pay me more than you pay all of the champions. And they were like, Nate, we already pay you more than we pay all of the champions. And he was like, well, then I want even more than that.
That's hilarious.
And they were like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, Nate fucking rules. Real ass dude, obviously. Where'd you end up watching the fights?
At home. Yeah, just at home.
Yeah,
I was traveling around this weekend. I was
going to watch them at the Circa, but the
you didn't do it.
No, they don't do the pay-per-views at the Circa. I realized that's what they told me, because all the hotels could watch the pay-per-views for free.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just there in the pool at that giant screen and you're like, don't worry, let me hook my PlayStation up to the TV. Here you go. I got it. I'll order it.
No, so I ended up going to like a little. I ended up getting offered tickets from a couple different people. Not Joe Rogan or Shane Gillis, but
he
other
retweeted
people.
You though.
He did.
He retweeted you. That's even better than tickets.
That is, you're right. That's better. I would way rather Joe quote tweet me than be invited on his podcast, his massive platforms, or any of the things that all these other people.
I'll be back on end of the month, everybody. Look for me, Joe Rogan.
But no, honestly, I was with Zach and I was with Paco, and.
Yeah, Rogan's not going to have that riff-raff on his name.
But we made a plan. Look, I'm not, me, dude. I'm a fucking loyal dude. We made a plan to go watch it at a shitty bowling alley, and that's what we did.
You were one text from Rogan away from ditching those people.
I wouldn't have ditched them. I swear to God, I wouldn't have. I don't really like hanging out with dudes who are better than me. I like to keep lowly
dudes much worse than you. Much worse than you.
Yeah, that's a way better way to be. But I ended up not going to the after party. It's going to a club is a nightmare. Like I met up with my chick. My chick she had a show. She dances. She had like a big like Latin music festival thing. She's
not a stripper. Let's try to make it clear, because I'm just saying when you say those words, everyone thinks you're dating a stripper.
No, she dances with like a Latin, pop thing, and she was there performing, and so I went to go see her. And by the time I got out, it was like midnight. And we had this plan. We were going to go to the club, and
so you sit there and just watch your girl she's like a background dancer for some Latin music.
Yeah.
Do you hate the music?
No, I love reggaeton.
You just have to sit there and pretend you're into this.
I love reggaeton, dude. It rules.
That just sounds awful.
No, dude. No, I appreciate live performance. No, I'm not like a big fan of reggaeton, but
oh man, you're trying your best. I appreciate live performance. And, Dave, art is art. So
no, I legitimately I enjoyed the show.
Vic, oh my God, Vic's here. We haven't talked to Vic the entire show.
Vic's just been jerking off this whole time.
Oh, I've been in lockdown. I'm in trouble because I'm a habitual rule breaker like Nate Diaz.
You're not in trouble, Vic.
I look. You laid the law down earlier. It's okay.
What
Vic
did you lay the law down about?
Vic starts texting me in the group. Okay.
What did he do?
Hold on. Let's see.
What?
Look,
I
the
got to read
problem
these
is-
texts more often, man.
And Dave, you understand me. The problem is I'm originally from California.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just a couple hours away from where Nate's from,
Right.
and that's where real G's are from. I'm a real G.
That's true.
So sometimes I push the line, and
No, Vic fucking.
today.
Let me say it. I've known Vic literally a decade at least. I mean, more, right?
longer. I think it was like 13 or 14 years now.
Yeah. And I mean, Vic.
God, how long have we known
Vic
each
started
other?
in podcasting with me and Dave started the Hammer Fisting podcast, but Dave quickly left that podcast and it became Hammer Fisting.
We were recording on a cell phone.
It's fine, dude. It was the beginning of this, so
It is. Listen,
we wouldn't be talking into these microphones at this beautiful table, dude.
You get all the credit in the world for everything I do because you convinced me to do stand up. You convinced me to do podcasting, and both seemed ridiculous.
Yes.
And I don't know why I followed you, but I did, and here I am.
Pure laziness.
We
think that
did,
was it.
Lewis. You and I, after you and Dave stopped, we did about over 200 episodes together. We did a lot.
A lot. And I've known Vic a long
200
time.
episodes.
And Vic is a ball buster. It always has been. We always have a fun time with
Yes,
it.
I know Chris Tinkle stormed out many of occasions.
But we hired Vic on the show as the producer. We needed a producer who understood real production, and Vic is great, and he does it remotely. But we also have Coop. We have Natalie. Now, Coop and Natalie are more traditionally my employees.
Yeah.
Like Vic is an employee. Vic, you are my employee. Let it be known. But
I think he's an
Technically, let's
independent
not talk about how much
contractor.
you're paying me right now. but technically,
you're getting paid more than most producers here. Okay.
Are you a W-2? I mean, I think he's a contractor. I would imagine.
I sure hope that's not true. That I'm getting paid more than the other producers.
So listen to me.
Vic, we are running a Ponzi scheme here. All right.
So Vic,
You get the opportunity to invest.
so he's
Now,
on
if you get two investors,
he's on a group chat with everybody, Coop included. Coop's brand new. Natalie's here. So then, hey guys, I write traffic's a lot worse than I thought it was going to be at 6:40, than I thought it was going to be. 6:40 is my ETA. So Vic goes, apologize to Dave. He came on time. And then I go, yeah, well, I'm the boss. Time starts when I get there.
well, you're
Let's
not my
forget
boss,
this.
so 6:40 is not when
And-
you even got here. By
And that's the point I was trying to make. I was defending you, Dave.
yeah. Unlike Vic, I am an independent contractor, and I can leave any time.
So then Vic,
But seriously, I'm not going to, and I'm doing quite well here. So
then
He doesn't even want to read the rest of it.
no, he
'cause
goes, Dave doesn't work for you. He works for America, and so do I. And then Natalie starts chiming in.
these are facts.
Natalie starts chiming in. A queen is never late. Everyone else is early. The Princess Diaries too.
That was a great and applicable quote.
Yeah, I know. So then,
I'm gonna just blindly trust that quote is real and makes sense.
Julie Andrews said it.
so then Vic goes, Lewis is
Mary
the princess. So then Vic goes, Lewis is the princess, right? So at this point, I text Vic. I'm like, Vic, stop trying to fucking get the troops against me right now. Now I have Natalie calling me a
This
princess.
is mutiny. Are you leading a mutiny against me?
Natalie calling me a princess. Koopaloop sitting there like, oh,
Coop's, by the way, getting balls. He's like, yeah, Lewis isn't so fucking tough.
dude.
Look, Coop's the only one that can't talk. He got lukewarm coffee for you. That's a
Coopworm.
bitch ass rookie move. I was going to warn everybody today. No bitch ass rookie moves.
Oh,
today.
that was great.
In
By the
honor of
way,
Dick
No,
Diaz.
what else did you wrote some other shit earlier that pissed me off, Vic. It's been a few weeks of Vic. He just takes these shots at me, and I'm like, if Natalie or Coop talked to me like Vic's talking to me, I would literally fire. There'd be that. They're fucking gone. So I had to send Vic
and yet Vic's still here.
and I sent Vic a message being like, dude, I was like, I know you're just fucking around. I was like, but they don't fucking know what this is. They think this is the way you talk to Lewis, and it ain't happening.
All right. Let me try to, as the sole person here who doesn't work for Lewis and probably makes him more money than anybody
That is
else
true.
at this network. Vic, let me try to rectify this situation. What you're getting paid that Lewis claimed was more than any of the other producers here.
Per show,
Okay.
it's definitely
Okay.
debatably more.
All right.
He works on one show.
Lewis, I'm trying to
Vic, your
solve
per show rate
problems
is
here.
definitely higher than every other producer.
All right, Vic, we're gonna take that rate and double it.
Whoa.
That's what we're doing
whoa,
right
whoa,
here.
whoa.
Double it, okay?
Didn't we just give him a 50% raise?
okay, we're gonna.
No,
cut it
actually,
in
that was
half.
something I was going to email you about, but
Yeah, Vic, I said that's happening. So now you know what? Now, Vic, how about this? How about
Hey,
you fucking?
you know what?
you said that was happening 2 months ago.
How
But
about you
look, we don't
send
have to
that
get on
email?
that.
How about you send that email then? I guess I'll read
Lewis,
it.
you know what? My thing was a joke. We're seriously giving him a 50% raise. I haven't gotten a 50% raise off this show. All right, fine, Vic. Here's the solution: insult Lewis all you want to, but put it on a text thread with just the three of us. I would like to see those insults. We don't want Natalie and Coop to know, but the rest.
I'm just going to look in the mail because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a box of Kratom and sheath underwear.
So the point is,
well, that's your raise.
The point is, I did not go to the after party.
You didn't,
because when my chick got off stage, like we were both like, I don't want to go to a club, but like I'm pretending to want to go to a club because I'm
been
sitting
at a club. You're at a Latin dance party.
No, it was a big outdoor festival, like a huge outdoor, like a lot of Puerto Ricans, fucking shimmying.
That sounds like so much fun.
A lot of Puerto Ricans and Colombians, yeah.
By the way, I appreciate that you finished your point, and I also want to go back to the other point and say that you're Dana White and I'm Nate Diaz in that scenario.
No, you're not. I'm Nate Diaz. You're Dana White. You're Pig Vomit. Let's not forget it.
He is the boss?
No.
He'd have to be the boss.
Oh,
to be
that's
that.
true. Fuck.
Shit, dude, you're Pig Vomit. Oh my God.
No, dude.
Oh, the
Work yourself
conspiracy
into a
comes.
conundrum.
Wow. Never thought about it like this.
But I
before.
don't like clubs. I hate
who
clubs.
does?
I
They're
fuck.
awful.
I will never go out.
If you're not a 20-year-old idiot, there's no reason to like clubs. They're just horrible.
Yeah. Let's see.
It was pretty great. Nate Diaz calling him a bitch ass rookie after that. That was pretty great.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty fucking dope. Yeah, one of my favorite lines of Nate Diaz is when he what'd he say about being from America? Oh, that was a fucking
Yeah,
great...
he said that stupid bitch ass rookie screwed everything up, and he's like, what did he? Damn it! Now you made me forget it. But
I'm sorry.
It was such a great line.
It is a great line.
Real Americans come from Stockton, California.
No, it's
America.
Like, yeah.
They're real gangsters, real G's.
Yeah, real gangsters are American or something like that. What is it? Look it up,
From
Coop,
Stockton.
right now. Coop, have it ready to go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
No, he didn't do it.
That was
Hey,
that was pretty quick to demand he have
Some
a
important
random
polling,
quote.
by the way. Some important polling. 75% of people think that they would rather live in Stockton than Chechnya. I want you guys to know that.
That is interesting.
That-
Did you ask
that's
that? Did you ask that to our Twitter?
Yeah, and,
I think that's fair.
75% would rather live in America than Chechnya.
I agree with that.
And then the other thing was, I asked, would Lewis be just as successful if he had a wonky lip like Khamzat? And 25% yes, he could be just as successful. 41% say he needs a normal lip, and 34% say he's the wonky lip of people.
All right.
I should have retweeted all this, Vic.
You
All
did
right,
that one.
We got to do Vic. We have
Coop, you have the quote?
What is it? What is the quote? Coop, pull it up. You guys already know what it is. Real G's from California, America, motherfucker. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. USA.
I like it.
Real quick, because we only have a couple more minutes here because we have to go to Legion of Skanks. We started a little bit late. We do apologize for the short show today. Vic, quick hit me with some of the big topics here. I know Elias Theodorou passed away of, I believe it was some sort of cancer, colon cancer or something, RIP. I didn't even know that
That's crazy. He was young, man.
It really makes me scared because he's a professional athlete. He's beautiful.
Yeah,
he's a beautiful man.
To do with that.
And in my mind, I'm going, I don't live my life that way. Do I have cancer now? Like, it just really gets in my head. Guys, I really made it about me very quickly.
Yeah, really did.
R.I.P. me and my mental health.
You did.
But that is
Today was the press
sad,
conference for Anderson Silva and Jake Paul, by the way.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch any. I saw the one moment where because Chael Sonnen hosted the press conference, which is the greatest thing
I didn't know
ever.
that. I saw Anderson and Chael on stage, and I didn't know that's what it was.
That's what it was. And I saw the one clip where Anderson asked Chael why he didn't come to his barbecue that he invited him to, and Chael was like, "I didn't think it was a sincere offer." Like that was a great moment.
By the way, Chael,
it's really great.
let me just say
Chael
this:
and Anderson
Chael breaks down everything better than anybody.
He's
the one. He's the one. If you want to just watch, he has the most entertaining YouTube channel. If you want to just listen to one dude break something down, there's other ones too. Bisping's great. We talk about the Weasel all the time. He's got a great fucking channel. But Chael, he just always knows how to articulate things in a really interesting way, almost like a storyteller.
Chael
he really does a
look,
great job.
I'll tell you, man, Chael was the best at the character that he was when he was fighting, and he's even better now that he's not the fucking character. And he's just really being Chael. He's just a really smart dude who really knows fighting well and is really just verbally talented. And he gives you
it's like a storyteller
that no one else does.
He'll just break down. It'll be something as simple as like, does Jake Paul have a chance against Anderson Silva? And I haven't heard it yet, but he'll break it down in ways like, let me tell you something. And then the way he just sort of like unfolds it, and he's like, and I'm not saying that. But if I was, and then he'll break it down from almost like the counterpoint perspective. Really, really, really fucking great channel. I catch Chael stuff almost every time he puts something out now. It's so fucking good. So I love Chael. I want to watch this press conference right now. Damn it.
And by the way, Chael picked Nate Diaz to beat Khamzat, and he was right.
Look, I think you guys did great today. That's why I let you guys just ramble, because you guys had a great... if it wasn't a ramble, you guys had a great POV today. I think everyone should watch this podcast. I appreciate the employment from over there from Luis, but you're also my friends, and I'm going to make that first. And I want to say that Coop and Natalie, they weren't bitch-ass rookies today. They were pros.
Love it.
And that's why we honor Nate Diaz.
Thanks, Vic.
Guys, we're all living our lives in a triangle today.
Oh, wow. That's something. That's a lot.
Beautiful.
I love it. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Shout out to Yo Kratom for supporting today's show. Go to YoKratom.com if you're in the market for Kratom and you're over the age of 21 years old. Live dates coming up. I'm in Tampa the 22nd to the 25th. I'll be in Plano, Texas at the end of the month with the Offend Everyone tour with me and Aaron Berg. Lewis of Skanks.com for all of those tickets. If you guys love this show, subscribe at Gas Digital. Use the promo code YOMMA. Save $1.50 a month. Get instant access to the complete on-demand library for all the shows here on the network. Dave?
September 25th, Austin, Texas. I will be at the Creek in the Cave. One night only, 2 shows. The shows are filling up quickly. These are both going to sell out. So go grab tickets now. ComicDaveSmith.com has the ticket link up right there. And yeah, traveling a bunch this month. Got a bunch of big podcasts and stuff that I'm doing. So look for that. Part of the problem right here at Gas Digital Network.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll check you guys on Legion of Skanks in just 10 minutes, folks. We'll be there on time.
Oh, yeah. Can I have a burger first?
Yes.
Yo!
Yo.
Yo!